yes you can. And I sniff it, 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 yes you can. I'm gone. And I sniff it to all the people who like frags like Charm City does. Made this track so you really know what live was. Come together over fragrances. That's the why, cuz getting love and support from the vibers. Put your sense of the day in the chat, cuz no wrong sense where whatever and for just because. Positivity and love with a live hug. A life full of fragrance is what I love. Finding hidden gems from Dior to Roja Dove. Negativity and fighting is what we're above. Try to diss, we throw up the hand with a big shrug. Like a card of positives, it's a plus love. If you wanna cause drama, won't even think of us. The connoisseurs fly high like a dove. And I sniff it, yes you can. 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 And I sniff it with my frags that I can spray in layers. A connoisseur, but also a poem sayer. At times a live studio purveyor. Won't choke you out, but not a sissy sprayer. Hit the like, you'll be doing us a really big favor. Subscribe if this track has a lot of flavor. Rest in peace, Fife Dog, who's resting with our savior. Follow us for the fragrance behavior. Make a note of the fragrances we gave you, one by one, or apply them in layers. Do you like the fragrances we share? Keep an open mind, don't be a naysayer. Find some new frags that you can savor. Doesn't matter if you're minor or major. From niche to designer, we're the player. As you inhale like a breath of fresh air.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. This will be a dedicated time spot. We're going to start doing live streams every Monday at 7 o'clock. So I hope everybody can hear me well. I'm waiting for Suits to come in. I actually just sent him the link, so hopefully he will get in just a minute. But I will get started, at least going down through the chat. Everybody, please smash that like button. And if you can hear me, somebody give me a thumbs up. And let's start at the beginning. First one was Mr. Raucous Retread. Good evening, sir. If you can make it, I hope you can. If not, please catch the replay, but always a pleasure, sir. Of course, we've got the man Cologne, and we got Red Spence. Let's see, in Sense of the Day, we got Bond number 9, Lafayette Street, one of my favorite Bond number 9s. And we will keep going in. We've got sister-in-law over on the IG side. I'm actually being able to look at each side. Nate the Great looks like he's at both IG and in YouTube. Mr. Jerry Rodriguez, Ms. Lynn, good to see you. And we got Mr. Clark. And we are hopefully, like I said, hopefully Suits got the link and will join in. So looking Looking to have him come on, but a lot of things. First, I will start with what my scent of the day was, and it was Rodante by Electimus. So this is a rose oud fragrance, really nice, elegant, luxurious. Electimus is a great house, great longevity, projection. It is a rose oud. It has that classic rose oud, but the oud is a blonde oud. It's more of a oud that's not what you would consider as a pungent, deeply medicinal, or even kind of animalic barnyard or fecal oud. But one of the things that differentiates this one, as far as Rodante, from the other ones, is that it has a good plethora. That's going to be my word for today, plethora of fruits. So it has citrus and it has some sweet pear. I think it also has some raspberry that's in the mid. And it basically helps that rose, because the rose is a very natural, waxy type rose, and that gives it some more depth. It's got saffron, so it gives a leathery, and it has a warm amber with the blonde oud for the base. Phenomenal fragrance. If you have not tried the House of Electimus, this would be one of the ones to try. I have a few from the house, but this one, if you like rose oud fragrances, this is one that I recommend. Going down, we will see. Let's see. We have Nate. Nate was just getting off of work. Mr. Kyler, Oman Luxury is a great house. Yeah, I have now Suits, of course. Hopefully, like I said, we'll get him in. He has some full bottles. I have a discovery set that we wanted to go through. Suits did a full bottle video not too long ago, but we definitely wanted to go into that. Mr. Terrence Taylor, sir. And we have Mr. John C., the mayor. And the scent of the day is Entourage Royal Tobacco. Cecile Zarokian, in my viewpoint, can't do any wrong. I really like all her fragrances, but for the most part, I can't think of anyone that I don't like. But Royal Tobacco is a really nice one, and definitely one that I'm glad is in my collection. We have Nate the Great with Al Karashi Blend as his scent of the day, and all I can say is you're welcome. If anybody didn't know, Nate was a Middle Eastern hater for a while, and I kept trying to convince him to try Al Karashi Blend, and I finally did get him to convince it. And then he has worked on Conaning his bottle. He has a big dent. That's a Suits and Scents. I said Conan because I see him in the back. We are going to bring him up. First, I want to give an introduction to my man, Suits and Scents. He is the ultimate warrior. He is the Conan of bottles. He is the one that can flex and still be cool. We got Suits and Scents. Welcome, sir.
What's good, y'all? What's up with you?
Oh man, it has been long overdue. It is good to have you back and alive together.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. How you feel?
Good, good, good.
How's the
How are
family?
you?
I'm good.
Family's doing good. Nate the Great is on here. We
I
got
saw.
yeah,
Hey, before we get started, everybody, your wife and everybody holding up.
yeah. Everybody's doing well. Everybody's doing
Good.
well.
My prayers was with.
It was a rough time during the holiday season, but
Yeah,
everybody's going well. I appreciate that. Definitely, sir.
always,
Definitely, sir.
always. Mm,
So I wanted to talk and Suits. I wanted to talk and bring up because we were talking back and forth about there. It always seems to come up, and I really want to talk about the controversy between the originals and clones.
yeah,
So I know you did your street interview in
yeah,
front of Gucci Neiman's,
yeah.
and
That
you got a
was.
biased view, but I really want to, and before, because we are going to go into Oman Luxury, but I want to reach out to the audience as well and see, because there is such a big controversy going on right now about clone fragrances. Some
Hmm.
people I know say that clone fragrances are basically fraudulent. They're basically going in and they are uh, stealing other people's creativity and work. And then some people say the originals are too expensive, so they only like to rock with clones. I really want to try to do an symposium on clones and originals and bring some people in, especially from the community, that basically deal mainly in clones so that we can get kind of their take. I can say that this is all kind of lately. The last person has come up, and it goes in cycles, but the last person that came up and kind of talked about it, he basically said that he cannot see any reason why someone would pay full price and that a clone can basically get the job done 99 times out of 100. That's basically kind of what he was saying.
Mm.
And it kind of went in line with, at the same time that he was doing his video or live, you were doing kind of your street interview. And I really want to kind of see how we can get both sides together, and let's talk about the pros, the cons, and what we can glean from each other about it, because it seems like it's a controversy. Clones are getting better and better in quality. It doesn't
Mhm.
look like clones are actually going anywhere. So there's a lot that I think we could talk about and discuss, and I think the fragrance community needs to kind of get in line and see what everybody's talking about, because it seems like it's a polarizing topic to talk about.
Yeah, I'm not against clones. First and foremost, I'm not against it. I'm just curious to know how, because I had did a segment on, am I wasting my money by purchasing originals when I can get clones and save two, three, $400 or whatever. But that's my thing. I was, curious of how are clones created? What are they using? Is it natural ingredients? Is it what I mean? Because one guy told me that clones were made by a machine and it's all synthetic. I mean, when I did, I was getting a lot of responses from that video that I had done, and it was very interesting, very informative, and I'm still curious to know how is it that clones are still so cheap, and nobody can like give me a definitive answer. How is it that they're, for of course the most cloned two fragrances are what, Aventus and BR540. How can you sell those fragrances at $300-400 cheaper than what the originals are? That's my only concern. Not that I have anything against clones, because shoot, if
Yeah.
I can, I
Well,
start
I
rocking them.
do I do know a couple answers to those questions. One, it is a machine actually analyzes it, and I forget what the name of it.
Lame
I'm
old curly.
coming to mind is a spectral analyzer. Of course, we got Mr. Gumbo, Molar, and Curly. So it doesn't necessarily make the fragrance. What it does is when they get the fragrance, they'll take the fragrance in and they'll put it in a computer that analyzes it, and then it will give you the breakdown of what comprises that fragrance. And
Okay.
then they will then use that formula to create their version of the fragrance. And sometimes they will not use the exact same, it's going to be harder to duplicate some natural raw materials that are very expensive, because then that will increase the price of the fragrance. But then also they're not going through the big distributors and then the big retail stores like Neiman, so you're not getting those markups as well. when
Right.
when I went through how much actual the juice costs, if you get that juice, that maybe it could be $3 for uh, a 50 ml bottle, or at the most $6 for a 100 ml bottle or something like that. Well, there's other things that go into it. There's the bottle design, there's the marketing, there's so much other things. Then it goes to a distributor, they put a markup. Then it goes to a retailer, they put a markup. And so there is a way, and everybody wants to make a profit. so then they have to pay the perfumer. I mean, there's so many different hands in the pot. But when you're doing a clone, you're not paying a perfumer because the computer has done an analysis of it and got you the formula. So you're cutting out a lot of middlemen and things like that. And that's one of the ways that it is getting uh, it's cheaper. And as computers get better and better, then you get better and better clones. So that is kind of a general thing. Really quick, I go, Mr. Jerry, I see you're wearing Givenchy Society. Gentlemen, Society EDP, welcome, sir. I saw Terrence Boss is in the house, and we got Jim's in the house. We got Esteban. We got Mr. Duck 212. Oh, and we got Jules in the house. Welcome, ma'am, on the IG side. Then on, I'm getting better. I got both sides open at the same time. Mr. Gumbo, of course, welcome, sir. Rich Money Cash. I think I didn't get your sin of the day, and your sin of the day is Boadicea. So there you go. You already into that high dollar. And we got, let's see. I think that is getting down to the bottom of it. So, what is your scent of the day? And we got Kev, God Body. Welcome, sir. Scent of the day, Mr. Suits.
For me, what I had on, Rose Nadoma 2, 1870, I believe it was.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, and that's what I had on today.
All right. So there's a couple things. First thing we're going to talk about is we want to try to get together a symposium. I'm going to reach out to some of the other content creators and see if we can get a time to get together and have this symposium to talk about OGs and clones. I'm assuming you're going to represent the OG side. And because there's some things that, and I'm not going to spend too much time because we're going to get into Oman Luxury, but there's some things like here is Pandora Sense, and it's Milano Privé. And this is basically 1 million Privé. So this is something that they made a clone of that is no longer being produced. I think there's a market for that when you got clones. So for that part, I think clones have a viable thing. Also, I got Iconic Nui, where this is another one where Grandeur made a clone because Blue Electric is no longer being made. So there are some times where maybe, I mean, a clone can kind of help because there aren't any, they stopped making the OG, but there you go. We got Mr. Jason Vircher, the scent father in the house.
Yes, he is.
And then we have Isa Ramirez, and she just joined. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're going to get into the House of Oman Luxury. I have the full discovery set, and Suits has about 6 bottles, I think. And so we'll go in. First thing we'll talk about, if you don't know, Oman Luxury is an independent perfume house founded in 2012 after the encounter between Mu'tasim, Mur, and Ahmed. Together, they began their quest to create a true olfactory expression of Oman, using the finest ingredients to highlight every aspect of Oman's culture and heritage in an artistic way of combining authenticity and modernity, resulting in a range of exquisite and bespoke scents. That was a mouthful. So basically, I guess the first thing I wanted to ask you is, how did you get into the House of Oman Luxury, and what was kind of your motivation to start buying Oman Luxury full bottles?
The first one I purchased was what was the first one? Angham. That was the first one I had purchased, and I love the bottle, love the design, love the cap, love the fragrance. And then I started doing research on it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is an independent house." And then I realized that they did start in 2012, but then they fell off. I think it was distribution issues or whatever. And then when they came back in 2020, they came back strong with some nice, potent, strong fragrances. And I was like, "Okay, I can get down with this house. I can get down with this house." What's up, James? Yeah, and that's how I started out with Oman Luxury.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, let's go ahead and get started. We'll jump right into it and see what's the first one you want to talk about. I figured
What's
we
up
go
to you?
through the ones that you got full bottles of first,
I
and
will.
then we'll look at some other ones.
Okay, I'll tell you what I have. I have no, I'm sorry, you know what? Back that up. The first one I purchased was Royal Incense. That's what got me hooked.
That
The
is one of the ones that I like as well, Royal Incense. I got to talk to the rep at Sin Explorer, so
mhm,
they were under kind of a UAE conglomerate, and I
mhm.
guess that's how they go to Max Aroma. So they were at Sin Explorer, and I'll tell you some of the things that they said about the different ones as we go through it. So which one do you
Okay.
want to start with?
Uh it's up to well, we can start with Royal Incense. You have a full bottle of that one, right?
No, I gotta
Okay, okay, well it's fine. You too. I'm gonna tell you what I have, and I'll let you decide. I have Royal Incense, Ancom,
we can
Kanjar.
start with Royal Incense. We can
All
start
right,
with Royal Incense.
all right, let's do it.
All right. So Royal Incense is that is a fragrance that I think the last time they told me that it was inspired by Oman because of the way that they utilize those fragrances in the Middle East and the incense, the heavy incense, dealing with what they do. So it was frankincense with the smoky aroma. And what do you like about it? And can you just give your description of it?
I like the depth of it, the potency of it, man. Because I'm an oversprayer, and I made the mistake of overspraying with this in the summertime. Damn near kill myself. But it's just this is a nice, potent, rich fragrance, man. And when I finally wore it, what was it last winter? I wore it last winter, and it just sat right, man. I mean, and I was able to overspray with it in the wintertime. It was one of them cold January days, about a year ago. And that fragrance just sat right. Just absolutely. The incense in here is deep, it's rich, man, and it holds on to you and it lasts forever. That's what got me hooked on the house. The quality of it. I think it's excellent quality in all their fragrances. Well, at least the ones I have.
Got it. Got it. And you see that, is there any house that Seuss doesn't have? I don't know. I don't know.
You said what they was
We got Terrence Senior on. Welcome, sir. So I'm gonna spray this one on card. I have, as you can see, I basically have used more than half of this one. So this is one of my favorites right here. So I'm gonna spray it on a scent strip. I've sprayed it on skin, and this is actually I had another one of this one as well. So this is my second um, decant of it because this one came in the set. This is probably the one that is most known for the house. This is their best seller,
Mm-hmm. It is. Real
and this is
it's rich.
yeah. This
Yeah.
is probably one of the best incense fragrances that I've smelled.
Yeah. And it's actually not that expensive. It's only running like 225.
Yeah, and you can actually get it on discounters for a little off of that too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Well, you know me, I always give the high price, and if you can find anything cheaper, then consider that a steal.
I still think Neiman's pays you. You do commercials for Neiman.
No, they don't pay me. They don't pay. I just be up. I don't know. I done spent over maybe shoot $200,000 in there.
You have to, because I know how much I spent in my collection, which I will not talk about. But for your collection, it's got to be over $200,000. So now there's one thing that came to mind. How tall are you? Everybody's been asking that question. Because was it just everybody was short there?
Yeah, because I'm only 4'3". Nah, I'm 6'3".
6'3". Okay. Okay. I figured you had to be taller than I was. Now I'm 6 foot. But we're gonna meet in person. We definitely have to. I mean, we're so close together. We have to meet in person. But all right, I'm gonna get into the chat. Let's see. Can't stop, won't stop, not gonna stop. There you go. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Can't stop, won't stop, not gonna stop.
Who oversprayed
Um,
themselves? Somebody said they oversprayed themselves for the first time.
Miss Alicia, welcome.
Miss Alicia, how you doing? I'm
Uh
right
oh.
here. I
Terrence
know.
Taylor saying he's Suits and Sense Jr. over here with the collection. He does bring some pretty big hauls. He does bring some pretty big hauls in.
Yeah, I was looking at that live that y'all was doing. It was you, him, and what's her name? And Terrence.
Tazo.
It was talking about Love in Paris and the other Rosen one. His last two, Oud Extraordinaire.
I would extraordinaire.
Yeah, Oud Extraordinaire. And yeah, I think Terrence could grab them before anybody, because I don't even know if they're on discount websites yet.
No, they aren't on discount
Okay.
websites. Because I got a decant of Iode Extraordinaire. They were not giving decants out at Scent Explorer of Lost in Paris. But in the Dallas Scent Room, they had a tester of Lost in Paris, and I got to put it on skin there. And so that one is going to be in my collection sooner or later, maybe
because
later.
when it got released, they sent me a 15% discount code for both
Nice.
fragrances. So yeah, I jumped on them.
Nice.
I got them. I had them for a while, and I probably only wore each one probably once so far.
Okay. We got Scented by E over on the IG side. Welcome. We got Nino Lavish over on the IG side. Burrell Mail on the IG side. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are talking about Oman Luxury. We got Nelson's Nose Universe just joined. Welcome. We're talking on Oman Luxury. So, has anybody in the chat, have you tried Royal Incense? Royal Incense to me is a masterpiece. This is an exceptional incense fragrance. So, sir, we talked about Royal Incense. Tell me what's your next one you want to talk about.
It's up to you. Because
No, no.
we don't have to go which ones I have, because we're gonna go through the whole set. So if you come up on one I don't have, just give me the info on it and let me know. That might be the next one I get.
All right, all right. Do you have Oud Aqualaria?
Yes.
All right. Do you have Paramore?
Paramore. No, I don't have Paramore. Let's talk about that. That sounds interesting. Let's talk about Paramore.
Paramore. So, of course, here I have Paramore. Let's see what Paramore is about. I am going to spray this on a tester first, and we'll see. I did make sure that I cleaned up, showered, so that if I do want to put it on skin, I don't have any residue of Rodante on my skin. Oh wow!
Is that good or bad?
No, this is good. So it's a spicy opening, and it's spicy like pink pepper. I mean, it's definitely bright and spicy with pink pepper and a little herbal. So this is pretty nice. I would say, to me, this starts off with it's definitely peppery, because I can tell as soon as I smell it. some herbal nuances and some floral nuances. Now, I don't know exactly what is in it. I would say the oud to me in this is a blonde or kind of a clean oud. It's not a medicinal. It's a woody oud. It's a blonde kind of clean woody
So it opens up spicy and dries down heavy.
oud. I would say I detect that maybe this would be kind of ambery, but let me put this on skin. Let me put this on skin. Okay, it is very different on skin. It is very different on skin. All right, and okay, I was thinking that most of them had oud in it. It is woody, but it doesn't smell like the kind of oud, like I said, a blonde oud. But yeah, it doesn't smell like the kind of oud that I'm used to from Oman Luxury. So
Mm. Well, they have a few fragrances with they got oud in there, and I call it like a really light phantom oud.
yeah, so on
Mm.
this one, there's more on the skin. There's more of a fruitiness.
Which
So
one was
there's
this again?
something that is a little different on this one. It has florals, and I can tell I'm not exactly sure what florals, but I'm gonna have to look this up. All right, Paramore. I'm gonna spray one more time, and I am wrong. So it is not. There isn't any pepper in it. So the top notes are bergamot, raspberry, grapefruit, and saffron. Maybe the saffron is where I got the spiciness from, but
Mm.
it's not as sharp on the skin as it was on
Paper.
paper, and it's blended really nice. It's actually a pretty nice one. They also say in the heart it has jasmine, lily of the valley, cinnamon, and rose. So the cinnamon is maybe where I got some of the spiciness from as well. And I did detect florals, but it's blended really well. So the rose doesn't really stick out. The jasmine and lily of the valley and rose are mixed really well. And then it does have an amber base. It has a good dose of musk, and then an abundance of woods, cedar wood and sandalwood. But it also has leather and patchouli and caramel and tonka.
So probably in about 30 minutes, it's going to transition to something deeper.
Deeper, right,
Yeah.
right. So they say this is a lavish and erotic leathery rose fragrance with tangy fruit and almost candy-like aroma. So what I can say is definitely put it on skin if you are trying to test out, because what I sprayed on the test strip and what was on my skin are two different things. So they're two different
Mhm.
things altogether.
Yeah, I stopped spraying on paper. I don't spray on paper no more.
Yeah, we got 2, 4, 6. We got 14. That's gonna
Oh wow.
yeah.
You have way more than I do. So I'm
Yeah,
not
we may not
gonna
get through all of this in one
yeah.
setting.
But they have a total of 17 fragrances.
Yeah. But
Mm.
Paramore is nice. It's it's a leathery fragrance. What's
Your
going on?
son, boy, I tell you, your son.
Okay, Nate is coming back. All right, so just to talk about that,
Oh,
Nate and I on Saturday, and we'll have the kind of thumbnail out. Nate and I on Saturday are going to do a rematch, and then of course Nate feels like that I sucker punched you in our battle. So Nate wants to see a rematch between me and you. He says once the playing field is level and how you know that I shank in the dark, like I'm in the prison. He thinks that it'll be a more even match.
Nah, it was all fun. It was all
Yeah,
fun.
it was good. But
Mm.
Nate wanted me to get demolished. He wanted he just feels like I bully him. So Nate was looking at that. But Nate and I on Saturday we're gonna do our masterpiece battle, and then I do want to set up a date to have a masterpiece battle with you also, Suits. So we'll do a round two. But yeah, he's my son, my biggest critic, my worst enemy. So I don't know what to do. So we got Miss Alicia. That is true. Always on skin,
Mm.
especially
Yeah.
if you are trying to get a
Yeah.
good understanding of how it reacts with your skin, your DNA. So you should do that. We got Dan Perfume 79 joining on IG side. Welcome. And Mr. GV one joined Nelson's Knows Universe. I believe I said something, but we'll say welcome as well. And we got Dion Hill. Miss Dion, welcome. And yeah, Terrence, you are right. It is always your own family. That haters. I don't know why. I don't know why. But we'll see. We'll see. Go with your next one.
We can go ahead and do the ooh Aqualaria. We can go ahead and jump on that one.
Okay. So what would interest you in buying a full bottle of Oud Aqualaria?
The feminine side of it.
Okay.
Feminine side of it, because it was that one and Zafar weren't as, they were good, they were potent, but on a, I guess I could say sweeter side, but they were just more, had a little bit more femininity to it than the other ones did. Not, just thought it was really, really, like anytime fragrance. Mm.
That is
Yeah, for
crazy.
the-
Skin for the win.
yeah, I don't know how to take that one.
I know.
Is that a private little message or something? Like meet me after the live? Or something?
Hey. Don't ask, don't tell, don't pursue. We'll keep it moving. We'll keep it moving.
Oh.
All right. So Oud Aqualaria. Yeah, so I will spray this on the inside of my wrist. And let's see how this one goes. So you said it is more feminine.
Well, to me, I mean, the rose in here with the it has oud, but the oud, it's like, it's like I keep saying, it's one of them phantom ouds. You get the oud, but it's not as potent as in some of the other fragrances. But the fruity notes in the opening to me really stood out with the rose, and that kept, it kept its foot on the throat of the other notes to me. So that's why.
Okay, I do smell some fruity. I actually, and I'm saying I'm gonna say it all the time now. I do feel like there's pepper in this one, and it's on skin. But
I believe it is. It's a little bit of spice. I think it's pink pepper.
so
I
what
think it's
fruit
pink
is
pepper.
in here? I get a subtle
I believe it's
fruitiness, but I
apple.
don't. It's apple.
I
Okay,
believe it's apple.
yeah, because I don't
Mhm.
get like a peach or
Yeah.
something that is really
Like you
so
don't.
so it's
Nah,
it's
you
subtle.
don't. Yeah, it's not a sweet fruit like you would get in shoot Kirkay or La Capitale. It's not one of them type of sweet fruits.
Oh, you
Mm-mm.
gotta show the bottle. You talking about it?
Oh shoot, my bad. I'm sorry.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
what kind of rose is in here?
That I don't know. I just think it's just ordinary rose. Whatever I pick up.
Okay.
And I don't, because I don't, the rose, I wouldn't say it's dominant, but you know, it holds its own. I'm not sure
Oh,
what type of
well,
rose.
I was going to ask how long it lasts, but I know you're the king of overspray, so it lasts forever
Yeah,
and
see,
a
that's
day.
why I can't really give a good assessment on longevity because, man, shoot, hey, I'm Conan the Destroyer, man. I'm telling you, I
If I recommend to everyone, if you have not seen a Suits spray routine, it is well worth the price of admission. You need to check it out. All right, Rich Money is saying Damask rose and Bulgarian rose. So it's two types of roses.
okay, okay.
Okay, and I'm looking it up as we speak. Yeah, so it does have pink pepper, so I got it on this one.
Mhm.
It apple, and then it has rosemary on the top.
Okay.
In the heart, it's damask rose and Bulgarian rose with clove and sage.
Sage, yeah. And I think on the dry down, it got a little ambery, slightly. But you know, the rose and that phantom oud really was to me what stuck out on the dry down. That's what you was getting,
Okay,
what I was getting mostly.
because it talks about in the base that it has ambroxan and patchouli and an oud accord.
Mm.
So maybe that's an oud that they synthesize or something like that that they put together to make kind of a oud. This one is the perfumer is Dominique Ropian.
Yeah. Well, um, with this house, you have a few top composers that made a few fragrances for Oman Luxury. You had a few
Okay.
top of them. You know, it wasn't Larry Moe Curly.
No, no, no.
But
All right.
I don't hate on clones. I don't. I mean, I just think it's just amazing, man. That you know, I
Well,
truly
yeah,
not
and,
to
and I
change the
really
subject. Not
want
to change the subject.
I really want to we got Senate Paradise. We got my man Kix Griffey with the Yak Mob. I tried to tell you right before you got off because I got on to your live late, Kix, to tell you that we were going to be on tonight. But hey, I mean, I don't. Well, of course, you know, I review clones and I have
Mhm.
some clones and some clones I like. I really think trying to clone a niche fragrance, especially a complex niche fragrance like Spirit of Dubai or Roja, is nearly impossible. There's so many facets to it. There's so many notes. There's so many accords that you really can't. And I mean, literally, if somebody says that they have, you know, somebody that can clone a fragrance that deep and that complex, I would have to call the fragrance connoisseurs mascot and I would have to just say,
A bullshit, a bullshit, a bullshit, a bullshit.
I I
That
just
was
have to
perfect.
say,
That was perfect. That was
yeah, because I mean I like clones and I have some things that are clones, but if you say you got 100% clone of Roja Dove or 100% clone of Spirit of Dubai, I I just can't buy it. I just can't buy it.
Oh God. Mm. All right.
You know, hey, that's just me. Yeah, that's our boy. That's our boy. Hey,
Mm.
but
So
sometimes you got to call that. You got to call that on people.
yeah. So do you believe the finance dictates the fragrance?
I believe it can. So, in general, I mean, most clone fragrances smell pretty good. So, I believe that it's the finance. Now, I will say I don't as long as you keep it in perspective. So, you can have a clone, and I wear. We'll get into, I guess, part in between this. We'll weave. I get in the clone. I have Club de Nuit Intense Man. I have the EDP, and I have the limited edition, the Pure Parfum.
Mhm.
I wear those, Does it smell as good as, say, like a vintage Creed Aventus? No. Um, but it smells really nice in the air. It has 10 plus hours performance, and it's something that I can decant really easily when I'm traveling, and I can just bring it with me. So but I'm not going to tell you that it smells better than Aventus. I'm not. I can tell you that some of the newer formulations of Aventus don't last as long as I would like, especially if I'm going to work and I need something that is going to last at least 9 to 10 hours because my workday is long. So that would be something. Now, if I take something with me, then I could reapply, but I'm not. I There are a place for it, but I will not ever tell you that Club de Nuit Intense Man smells better, more natural, more complex than Creed Aventus. I just won't.
Mm. Yeah, makes sense. I
So
mean,
we got Soulful Sensei. Welcome, sir. And on the IG side, we've got Dan Perfume 79. I think he rejoined. Ellen Core joined, and S. Reed. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, do you want me to go next, or do you have Serenity?
Serenity. Nope. Tell me about that. That sounds awesome.
All right, let's see. That
Serenity.
is my fourth one, I believe. All right, so yeah, I'm looking at the box. All right, Serenity is gonna be right here. Okay, so this one has oud in it, and
Okay.
it has something else that's kind of.
So is it potent right off the jump?
Yeah, you smell the oud right off the jump. And it has something else that's slightly animalic. It's it's not oud, but it does have something else that's slightly animalic. I'd be curious. Now I've stopped. Mr. Cali Groom Room. Welcome, sir. Um, I have stopped being taken just first initial impressions. I like to wear it, smell it in the air. I've gotten to the point where I've uh, grown more accustomed to wearing ouds and stuff like this. But this one, and a lot of times you do smell a oud right off the top. This one, you smell oud right off the top. It's not really a bad oud. There's something else that is in it, and I don't know if it's like castoreum or something, because it's not the oud that also has kind of an animalic bite to it. All right, I am going to have to look this one up because I can't tell you anything else more than that
Is it
on
is
it
it
right
heavy
now.
masculine?
Huh?
Is it heavy masculine?
I would say it's unisex leaning masculine. It's not heavy masculine.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see what it says. So Serenity, pulling up on my phone. It says a sensual blend of elements that imparts presence, texture, and perfect harmony. Inspired by the Sultan Grand Mosque, Serenity is enriched with a masterful dose of cumin. Okay, cumin must be other spices and ouds. It takes a traditional Middle Eastern style of composition and infuses it with light and shadows. That's something new. Infused with light and shadows. I didn't know they had accords like that. Masculine and feminine power and grace. All right, so this is supposed to be, I guess, something that's supposed to be unisex right in the middle. Top notes are agarwood, so oud, rose centifolia, and saffron. So that's off the top. The middle is cumin, patchouli, jasmine, clove, and cedarwood. The base notes are Lebanon, leather, woody notes, musk, and praline.
Oh, praline. Yeah, man. Praline. God
Yeah,
dog.
so this is actually after the initial blast. It does kind of calm down a little bit, but that cumin does give it kind of like an animalic bite to it. The patchouli is an earthy patchouli, but there is a spice with that clove. The leather is kind of an a tanned leather, so it's interesting. It's interesting. Not anything that I would think when I first spray it that it would be an instant love or instant buy. But I am going to set that aside and try to come back that and do a full wearing sometime when I do my days of decants. So I have the only decant that I've worn out of this was the Royal Incense. When I
Mm.
got it, I did utilize that, and I had another decant that I got of Royal Incense when I went to Scent Explorer. So I've gone through a couple decants of that.
Yeah, that's what put me on to it. That that royal incense. That's what lit me up. Yeah.
But I can say Serenity is not bad. It's just it doesn't grab me immediately.
Yeah, that don't sound like one I'll be purchasing.
I'll have to when we see each other. I'll bring the set and let you
Okay.
test it out for yourself.
All right, what's the next one you got?
Now let's go with one you got, and then
Okay,
you,
we can go with another light one to me is Zafar. That's another
Zafar.
light one to me. But with yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
Zafar. Now I gotta
Yeah,
find
this one,
the
I would
set.
say this one is you don't have that one in there?
No, I'm saying I'm looking for it. It's hard to you gotta read them all, and so go ahead and talk to me about it while we talk.
Um,
Yeah, I have Zafar. I have it.
yeah. Run you about 300, came out in 2022 when the house had just reintroduced itself. Because what they came out in 2012, disappeared for a while, and then they reintroduced themselves in 2022. I think that's when they jumped back on the market. And this
Oh,
was
really?
one of
So it
the,
was that long?
yeah,
They were out for that? Wow.
yeah.
So you bought? Did you buy it when they first came out, or did you buy it in 2022 when they came back
No,
out?
2022, because I didn't know anything about it in 2012. I didn't know anything about it. It was unknown. I mean, just over in UAE and Saudi Arabia and all that area over there, what's
Okay.
that, Western Asia? Yeah, it was just known over there from my understanding. Then in 2022, when they reintroduced themselves, that's when I believe they came to the United States market. I
Okay.
could be wrong, but that's what I believe. But yeah, Safari, that's
All right. Give
another
me a
one.
bottle presentation.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, my bad.
Okay, so that's one of the darker ones.
Yeah, the
So I guess
dark,
they come in regular clear bottles, and then they come in the
the
darker
dark.
bottle.
Yeah, like in the light, you got some that's dark and then some that's like a misty gray look like.
Okay.
Yeah, but another a sweet, sweet fragrance to me. I think it leads more feminine, but still got a touch of masculinity to it. Just it had some spice with it. Mm, not in the opening. The opening was just all sweet, floral, like just floral, and then got a little spice with the cinnamon. But the dry down, it it manned up slightly. But it to me it's still a now I'll wear a feminine fragrance in a minute. I'll rock it in a minute. But it's still a really good fragrance. Spray it on you. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, I will. I just Dre Venable says he really likes Safar. So let's
Mm,
see what we got. All right, he doesn't want to spray. Uh oh.
uh-uh. Yeah, I mean it's a really because to me and the apple and the grapefruit really well that's why I say I can't say feminine, but not latent. Well, yeah, maybe a softer latent in the opening. Maybe
All
a
right.
softer latent in the opening. Did you get it?
No, it won't spray at all.
Oh,
That's
dang,
crazy.
bummer. And you missing out on a good one.
I'm going later. I will open the decant and put it in another decant. So unfortunately, I can't spray that one. So let me look it up and talk about it on my phone. All right, this one says it's an incense fragrance too, but that it has Middle Eastern notes. It has natural oud, incense, and spices. The top note is bergamot, pink pepper, rose, and grapefruit and apple. Heart notes of lily of the valley, jasmine, Lebanon, orris. So is it kind of powdery? Does it have kind of like that
To
powder?
me, no, it wasn't powdery.
Okay. It
Not
has
even on the
orange flowers. So is it kind of soapy clean? Does it have that kind of soapy clean aspect to it?
um no, the rose really to me took over the fragrance. You know, it became more of a rose fragrance to me. I didn't get no soapy clean any of that. I got more of a nice sweet rose with the fruit accord. And the dry down wasn't, it was somewhat masculine, but it was still not like a man up type masculine. Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay.
The rose stuck with me more. Yeah.
And
I
then it says in the heart, it's got lily of the valley.
I bring some
Oh, the,
jasmine or something.
yeah, jasmine,
Yeah.
Lebanon, orris,
Yeah,
orange
yeah, you get
flower,
the
and
rose.
cinnamon.
Yeah,
And
you
then
get
the
the
base is
rose.
vanilla, tonka, sandalwood, musk, patchouli, amber, moss, vetiver, and oud. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, but like I tell you, on the dry, that's one of them phantom ouds. The floral really is the dominant note in there to me. You know, to me, I mean, that's why I liked it so much because you know you get the oud, but the oud doesn't take over the fragrance. Not even on the dry down. You know that jasmine, the rose, the grapefruit, the patchouli didn't even tone stuff down to me. The floral didn't even tone the floral down to me.
Got it. Got
Mm.
it. Unfortunately, I will have to get back to that one. Um, there's another one. So I definitely am not and I think this one was stuck, so the cap came off. It won't even go on. But this one was my fault. I tried to
Mhm.
pick it up by the top of the cap because it was snugly put into it, and that came off. So that's Wanderlust. Do you have Wanderlust?
No, I don't have Wanderlust, so I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, maybe what we'll do is we'll come back to a couple of them
Hmm.
and on another live, and we'll talk about it. So give me another one that you have.
Um, Kanjar. Let's do Kanjar. You got Kanjar?
Yeah, I have Kanjar, and I
Yeah.
definitely have smelled Kanjar.
Yeah, man, that's a beast mode fragrance right there, boy.
That
Mm.
is a beast mode fragrance. Let me
Man, that's the
see.
definition of beast mode. Hmm.
Um, so I gotta just find it. Uh, let's see.
I don't hear you.
Okay, hold on. It
There
was
you
it was on mute.
go. All right.
I guess I hit the mic and I muted it by mistake. Okay, so Kanjar I will not put on skin because I know what this is about. What I can say about Kanjar is Kanjar is it's very oud heavy, very oud centric,
Yeah.
and to me it is very strong oud, and I have not graduated to this level of oud yet. However, what I can say, everybody can hear me now, right? Because Red says good, but Jim said I'm still muted. I hit the mute button on the mic when I was grabbing the fragrance by mistake. They said in the West, this oud is challenging. But they said over in the Middle East, to them, this smells like money.
It's normal, yeah.
Yeah, they said this smells like money.
Yeah, it seemed like heavy, potent fragrances are just perfect for them.
Now it's the more I get used to oud, the better it gets. But this is still kind of a barnyard type oud. It's a very strong pungent.
Oh yeah, it's beast mode. It's potent. It's potent. But
now, how many sprays do you do of this?
Well, when I first bought this, I sprayed it on these two fingers, right? Just to get a good smell. So I already knew not to overspray with this one. Yeah, I didn't overspray with that. And it was during the summertime too. But I was so pressed and anxious to wear it. So I did maybe 5 or 6. And it held its own. It held its own.
Okay, yeah, 5 and 6.
Yeah, it held its
You
own.
do 5 or 6 with this.
Hey, but I'm still gonna hold true to my title. I'm the king of overspray.
Yeah, I would do 2 sprays with this. Kanjar is a very strong oud. I'm gonna look it up and see what else is in it. But like I said, they say in the Middle East, this is money. This smells like money. And this one says it is a symbol of prestige and divine beauty. Kanjar reflects the authenticity of Oman's historic symbol in a fragrance that opens with a rich infusion of floral notes. I don't get a rich infusion of floral notes in the beginning.
Nah, I don't get no floral notes because what I get,
I get the saffron, so I get kind of a leathery facet.
Yeah, it has leather in it. The leather, the oud, and the praline is what really the praline, because it has a little bit of sweetness to it. On the dry down,
it does have some sweetness to it. Right.
Yeah, it has some sweetness to it. On the dry down, that that praline, that leather, and that oud, it really projects. I mean, something gorgeous too.
Okay, so it says it has saffron, bergamot, mandarin orange, and lavender in the opening. Cedar, rose, orris, and vetiver. Actually, I'm gonna have to put this on skin. I'm gonna come back to this. I've tested it a lot in the past when I really had not graduated to oud. I'm gonna have to put this on skin. Welcome, Fragrance Main on IG side. I'm gonna check this out and see how that happens. We got Alicia saying she's adding Kanjar to the list. That's hey. So I'll have to put that in skin and see how this works. So I'll put this aside. I will, because it smells better than what I remember at the beginning.
That praline adds the sweetness to it to cut into that oud. That way it's not as harsh, if that's the word you want to use.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna return to that. I don't know when I would wear it, but we would.
Well, now would be the time while it's cold.
Yeah, well, definitely, yeah.
Now would be the time.
Definitely.
Pungent. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, now would be the time.
Potent. All right, name another one you got.
Now, I only got one more. That's Angham. That's the one.
That's the one that you talked about in our battle.
Yeah. Yep. That was the one I talked about.
And that's a black bottle, right? That's a limited edition.
Yeah, Angham.
I got to remember, make sure I don't hit my.
Yeah, Angham. And
microphone.
then I can show Kanjar. And that's Kanjar.
Okay.
Kanjar and Angham. Yeah. See, this one, Kanjar is like a light gray because you can actually see through it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. I can't put it up there.
Yeah, you can kind of see through it.
Yeah.
But I think Kanjar is Is that what? Which one is that? That's in the. So Anghang is in the limited edition, and then Kanjar is in the. No,
I'm not sure which one is in the
no.
limited
Angham
edition.
is in the limited edition. I'm looking at it right now. Kanjar is in the private collection.
Hmm.
All right. So what do you like about Anghang?
To me, it was well when I first smelled it, it put me in the mind of like Hobdon or a Castor or something in that nature. That's what it put me in the mind of. But then the dry down was just something totally different. I mean, it was just absolutely beautiful. But it was the most expensive out of all of them. This was like the low fours.
Yeah, because well, it says it's the limited. So I'm gonna spray it on this hand. So at least this one works.
It was like low fours. This was one of their 2020 releases. Yeah, because when they reintroduced themselves, man, they came out heavy. They came out heavy. And the bottles got nice weight to it, man. I mean, just a nice print of, magnetic cap and everything. Just I was really impressed with that presentation. Mm.
Now this seems like it's an amber. It's a darker one to me off the top.
Um, a little spicy, a little dark, little sweet. It's the shoot, it was like leather or something.
Okay.
Yeah, leather. Okay. When I first made it dry down, it was like a sweeter ombre leather, but it had more depth to it. But it had way
All
more
right.
depth to it.
Mr. Spence, not so famous
Oh,
YouTuber. Welcome.
not so famous.
Mr.
What's going
Ressa.
on? Hey, my fragrance buddy. What's going on, my fragrance buddy?
Yeah.
That's my fragrance buddy.
Oh, Aaron Terrence Hughes Smolder.
I need to
That's be
get
the
into
best
that
he's
house.
ever created. I
I
have to
need to
really
get into
get
that
some more
house.
Aaron Terrence Hughes. I heard. I guess it's hopefully it's back. It's in the States. I know he hasn't. He's starting a distributorship in the States, but have
So
to
what do you
check
purchase
it out.
fragrance online? Or is he going to like a store? How are y'all purchasing his fragrance? How did you purchase that one? Austin, how did you purchase that one?
Yeah, let us know. Let us know because I purchased I purchased it from Max Aroma when I purchased tobacco.
Okay.
And we shout out to
I,
the Stream Bandit.
I keep hearing good things about that.
And we got Uden, the scent of the day from Not So Famous. Yes, sir. All right, Alicia's saying it's much better than ombre leather.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's much better, but it gives you that DNA, that vibe slightly. But it's way much better. More depth, more life to it, longevity. Really, I fell in love with this one. Yeah,
Oh,
I
he's
think this.
saying you can do the mail forwarding. I have not done the mail forwarding thing where you
What
get a
what
mail
is
forwarder to buy it. So it's a company that will ship it directly to you. So you buy it, you send it to the freight forwarder, the mail forwarder, and then they ship it to you.
like a
So it's a
third
company
party?
that's local. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know how much that adds to it, but yeah, he says he thinks he purchased his bottles at the perfect time before they got stupidly priced. Yeah,
I'm
it's
saving
gotten
up.
up there because he's not over here anymore. So it's yeah,
So
it's
you
a
have to
little
pay
rough.
for shipping from overseas now or something?
Yeah, well he's overseas
But
and
he's when he first started his channel, wasn't he in the States?
no.
Oh, okay. I learned something new. I thought he was in the States.
Yeah, I
With
think
all
he's
the
in
tattoos and all that
England.
other stuff on him. Oh, that's
I
where
think
he's
he's
from.
in England,
Oh,
and he there were a couple things that happened. One of the distributors kind of took his product and didn't pay him, so he had that issue going on. and then the price for him to ship stuff became so expensive that he was basically saying that it's not even worth it for him to ship it anymore.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happened. Yeah,
See, the
it
only
isn't
thing about
worth
buying stuff overseas,
all of that,
man,
in my opinion.
some of
Laugh
my
out loud.
fragrances be getting hung up
Yeah,
in
if you have to add all that extra price to it just to get it, I figured he's supposed to be coming sometime late this year or early next year, where he's actually going to have a Aaron Terrence Hughes America place. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what
because
happens.
he's a chemist, right? I think he's a chemist or something like that, right?
He's a perfumer. I don't know the basis if he's a chemist or whatever. All right, I can see it has a very good prominent leather, but it's a smooth leather. It's not an animalic leather. This is pretty nice.
Yeah, those are the only 5 I
It,
have.
it has a good dose of clove in it, though, as well. To me, I can smell the clove. But yeah, this is definitely a very leather forward fragrance and cedar. I smell cedar wood.
Woody notes. Yeah, on the
Yeah.
dry down. The dry down was just absolutely beautiful, man. I mean, it was a supercharged sweet leather fragrance. It was just gorgeous to me. I mean, the 5 that I purchased, man, I sampled some other ones, but the 5 that I have, they just, stuck out to me. I'm not gonna buy a fragrance I'm not gonna wear, but when I smell it, it gotta really hit me. It gotta make my drawers wet. Gotta have on some
So,
Depends.
in talking about this one, um, when you do just in general, so say you go to buy, you spray it on skin when you get
Mhm.
there.
I don't use paper no more for any
Okay.
fragrances.
And
Mhm.
do like I tell people when I go to it's like a retail store, I'll spray it on skin and then I'll leave and I'll come back. Or I'll wait
Give
a
it
while.
time to settle.
I'll let it dry down. So do you do that or
If it don't hit me right away, then I'll do that. But if it hits me right away, hey, here go the card, boom, fragrance in the bag out the door. But if it don't hit me right away, then y'all spray it, give it some time to settle down, and then see what it transitions to.
nice? Nice.
Mm.
All right, you got a request for some more bedroom gangsters.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah, I got a really hot topic that I'm quite sure that we all done been in this situation before. Oh yeah, it's coming, fam. Trying to tell you, boy.
All right, I am going to try one more if I can
Oh shoot,
find
pineapple juice,
it.
best defense against COVID.
I am going to try to find overdose. So I think I smelled this
Yeah, I
at
smell that.
Sin Explorer. Let me see. That's Bellifor. So I think this one should be overdose. All right. So overdose is one that I smelled at Sin Explorer, and I think I really like. Okay, I didn't
You,
spray here yet.
uh-oh.
So.
You're gonna be like the man when he did that his top
Oh,
50.
I don't know how he did knock himself out.
And he sprayed his nose, his eyelids, and everything.
He
His
sprayed
butt crack. He was
every one of
spraying
those 50 fragrances. I'm working on my 50. I gotta put that. I probably have it done this weekend,
I
but I'm
figured it'd
working on
just
my
be you
50.
and
But
him
he
that would
sprayed
do it.
every one of those 50 fragrances on his self.
He did.
Man,
His
that was
eyes was
crazy.
water. He had to keep pausing because he had to keep going to blow his nose. I tell you, that's my fam right there, boy. I tell you.
What
But you did it
I'll tell
though.
you
You
one
made it
thing that
through.
happened to me in fragrance related during COVID. All right, we got masks, right? So I had a mask that was a reusable mask. I had a cloth mask. And that mask I had at on my chest. And I didn't realize that it was on my chest when I was spraying. So I sprayed the mask with my fragrance before I left. And I went into a store and I put my mask on and I started blacking out because I guess I wasn't getting enough oxygen. So I learned my lesson. Don't have something that's going to go over your nose and mouth and spray it with a fragrance because I mean, I literally almost fainted.
Yeah.
And I finally, when I started blacking out, I realized what it was, and I took the mask down, and I'm sitting like I just came from being underwater for 5 minutes. I'm like,
Man, hey, Rich Money, I had did a video challenge slash tag video, your top 50 fragrances, and the only ones that responded was Demand and then Charm gonna respond next, but that was the only two that accepted the challenge. I didn't tag anyone directly, but to anyone directly. So yeah, that's where the man was getting his from when he did his 50 all over. He was like,
and he had to spray about 45 of them on himself.
Yeah, I think he did everything. He lifted his shirt up and sprayed his chest.
Oh man, that was hilarious.
Oh man.
All right. Overdose, and we'll do this is as the last one, but we'll come back to this and do some more. But Overdose is very citrus forward. And so I'm looking up the notes now. On the top, there's lemon, orange, bergamot, black pepper, saffron, cardamom, grapefruit, and mandarin. So there's a whole bunch of citrus in here. But it's not, a lot of times when people hear about a lot of citruses, they think of Herba Pure. It's not like a Herba Pure. It's definitely more muted. The citrus is not as bright and kind of sweet. So it's definitely muted. It is muted to me with florals, and in the mid, it's got jasmine, orris, orange flower, and then fig. And then in the base, it's got cedarwood, musk, sandalwood, vetiver, ambergris, tonka, patchouli, and plum. This is a really nice one, but it is very a fruit-based fragrance. But to me, it's not. Usually, a lot of times when people talk about fruit-based fragrances, they're talking about Herba Pure. But to me, this doesn't seem like Herba Pure. But this one is a pretty cool one too.
I don't know. To me, the strongest fruit-based fragrance out there to me is probably La Capitale. I mean that La Capitale or Kirke, but I think La Capitale, man, that thing, boy. I made the mistake of overspraying that, man. It became a nuisance. Yeah, and not saying it's not a good fragrance, it's an awesome fragrance, but yeah, that was some serious fruits up in there. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Well, we have to get back together. Like I said, I'm going to get with you and get some times. I'm going to try to reach out and get some things about the original House versus Clone, see if we can get some traction on that. Also, Saturday, 7 p.m., I will send it out. It will be Charm City versus Nate the Great on 10 masterpiece fragrances. We are going to do that battle live, and we will also set up a time to do a masterpiece round 2 battle between Suits and Charm City. So we'll get back to this. I'm going to reach out to you as well, Suits, because I want to see if you got time this weekend or next. Maybe we could meet up and get together for a little while. I'll bring the Oman Luxury whenever we do and let you try out the other fragrances. The ones that didn't work, I'll put into my own decants so we can try to check them out.
We can do that because I know what I want to do is, for those of us that are on the East Coast, because up Neiman's, they would let me use their the room where they do all their master classes. And we use that, and we can go up there and chop it up or whatever. And they'll provide refreshments and all that, whatever. Because that's what the manager, she had told me one day when she was checking on. I said, I ran it by her or whatever. She was like, yeah, just let me know when or whatever. So if I can get it, probably during the summertime would be better. For those that are on the East Coast. I was talking to Duck 212 about it, because Duck 212, he know my girl Wendy. And,
Okay.
he would come there, so we can get a couple people up there and just have. We can do this. Well, that probably wouldn't be fair to do a symposium about clones and Neiman's. No, that wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, probably. They
But just
probably
to get
wouldn't
together
like
and,
that that much.
chop it up, just talk about fragrances in general. Yeah, they wouldn't have to pay. You won't have to pay anything or nothing, man. Just show up. That's all.
That sounds good.
Mm.
That sounds good.
Yeah, but we can meet up though. Just let me know when. If you want to go up Neiman's, we can go up there. I introduce you to everybody, whatever. And
That sounds like a plan.
yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Yeah, everybody really good folks. But this, like you said, this clone thing, I don't have anything against clones. I just think that it is phenomenal that a $400 fragrance you can buy for 23 cents, man. It's just amazing. I'm just saying. Y'all
Yep.
been holding out on me.
Hey, we'll see. And maybe when we do that, I'll bring some of the clones, and we can check those out too.
And what you
But like
think
I
about
said, I've never tried to buy a clone of a Rosia. I've never tried to buy a clone of a Spirit of Dubai, and I wouldn't even think that would be something that
Do
would
they
even
have
be
clones
viable.
of those?
Huh?
Do they have clones of Rogers and Spirit of Dubai?
Maybe like Alexandria. I would think some of the more high end places maybe they would have it, but I don't know anybody else.
Man, not so famous, man. He be tripping, man.
Smith said, "Don't say broke boys."
Hey,
Well,
but I'm part of the Broke Boys Club too. I tell you, I am. That man get out of his grandma's house. Grandma,
yeah.
no,
He
he's
said the
still
new
there.
Dior
He's still
Homme
there.
Parfum is great. All right, we have to check that out.
Because somebody was asking, what do you think about the new
Oh
Dior
yeah,
parfum?
I had missed it. Hold on. Yeah, Kyler had asked what about the new Dior Homme Parfum. I have not smelled it. I have to check it out. I have to check it out.
Hey,
Oh, we
which
got a
one?
question though.
Yeah,
How do
which
you
which house
feel
are
when
you
the
referring
luxury
to?
houses and niche companies do clones? Oh, so Rich Money, I will say jokingly, I was on a live and somebody said, "What was the best clone you bought last year?" And I said, "Oh yeah, my best clone last year was Tobacco Oud by Boadicea the Victorious."
What?
That is that's the best clone I ever bought.
So what are your thoughts on Bodicea? Do you think it's a high price clone house?
In a sense, it is because what they will do is now what I will say is they do end up stepping it up a notch. Okay. So where Bodicea will take because that's Mandarin tobacco Mandarin. Byredo. Byredo doesn't have great longevity and performance with that one.
Mm-mm.
Bodicea tobacco sapphire, that lasts forever. And it gives you a similar type scent DNA and vibe, but it's just I like that version of it better now. It's inspired to me because it came out first. Blue Sapphire is Al Karashi blend. It's so there are a lot of fragrances that Boadicea has that were other people's fragrances first, and they try to put their own spin to it.
Mm, okay. Because I only have one, two, three. I only have 5 Bodicea fragrances. Because some of them just too out there for me. And as far as that tobacco, what's the name? I didn't purchase that because I like Amwash's Royal Tobacco better. I put that tobacco scent against any scent.
Oh yeah, Royal Tobacco is nice.
Yeah, I'll
Well,
put
and
that.
here we say Rich Money Cash is saying Creed does clones. I mean, original Santal
That's a
is
clone?
basically inspired. Yeah, some Mont Blanc did it first, and then Creed did their version of it. Now their version is better blended, better
Yeah, I
material.
was gonna say. So, what about the longevity? Because I don't have Mont Blanc fragrance. That one that you was
Yeah,
referring to
Nate says most expensive
in
in
existence.
existence. It is one of the most expensive in existence, but let's see. Suits only have 5, and Suits said a part of the broke boys crew. The math ain't mathing.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
Suits,
you,
it's kind of hard for you to say that you were part of the broke boys
I
crew.
am. I'm part of the
Mr.
broke boy.
Money Cash, you said original vetiver. So you saying original vetiver is a clone? What's original vetiver a clone of?
From what? Roja? Which one?
Okay, Mugler. Mugler um had a version of what
So
original
Mugler
vetiver is.
came
It's
out
interesting.
first.
Wow. Yeah, see, I didn't know that. I like original vetiver. Original vetiver, though, I have another one that smells like it, and that's ex vetiver, and that is, hold on, I got that at Cinexplore. Hold on 1 second. I need that one.
I guess he got to go get it to smell it and see. He could have just told us.
Oh, sorry about that. Juliet Has a Gun has ex vetiver, and this one was like a 5 ml sample. And to me, it smells a lot like original vetiver. I really like it. It's nice. But to me, it smells too much like original vetiver for me
So
to
I got a
necessarily
question.
get it.
With your samples, so everyone that's in the chat that has samples, when you're spraying your sample, how many sprays do you use with a sample? Because you want to, you want to preserve it some. So how many sprays do you use with the sample? If
Okay,
if that's gonna be your scent for that day.
typically, man, you couldn't even you'd have to use like a 10 ml sample just to kind of halfway get your spray routine. But a 2 ml sample is supposed to give you 20 sprays. So basically, every milliliter is supposed to have 10 sprays in it. So when you get a 5 ml, it is 50 sprays basically. And thinking about that, it's like, but their spray distribution is not going to be the same spray distribution that you're going to get out of, say, a full bottle, especially a pressurized one. So I would say if you're trying to get a full wearing, you would need at least a 5 ml bottle, and you could probably get 2 full wearings out of a 5 ml. If you're going to do a full wearing, like matching, well, not matching your sprays, just your sprays. A 2 ml would only be like a brief appetizer. That's like you came hungry to the restaurant and they gave you like one Ritz cracker. But when I use things, I would use like 10 sprays of that, which would be 5 sprays, and I would spray kind of pulse points and my neck, my chest, to make sure I got the clothes, to see how it lasted on clothes. And I would do kind of 2 sprays on this side of my neck, this side of my neck, back of my neck, 6, 7, 8, and then my wrist, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I would do like 12 sprays. A 2 ml may give me one good full wearing, and then a couple times where I could put it on skin and see, test on the for dry down and see things like that on my hand.
So famous, man.
Yeah, and so not so famous is 20 sprays.
Nah, but you'll see it when you get further than that.
Sample 3, just put on my arm. So a lot of people are using the samples not as like a full wearing. They're using it just to see how they like it.
Okay.
So here, Dre Venable is saying that they have 10 mil mini bottles, which are much more affordable. The only thing I don't typically buy 10 mil bottles because I will sometimes get a 10 mil, but to me, you're paying so much more per milliliter. So I look at it per milliliter. If you get a 10 mil and say you pay $60 for a 10 mil, but a 50 mil would be $150. So if you keep buying 10 mils, yeah, you're paying less money, but you're using you're getting less of the juice. And then if you get 100 mil where it's $150, it'll probably be like $225. And so in essence, to me, the 100 mil is a sweet spot. I know some places have 200 mils and stuff like that, but there you go. So everybody, I love throwing samples in the trash. When I'm done, I feel accomplished, like I did. Spence is just crazy. Spence is crazy. So 1907 is the only one that captivated me. I can say from Boadicea to Victorious, I do like Blue Sapphire. However, I have Al-Karachi Blend, which is the same scent profile and DNA, and I had that one first. So Blue Sapphire really, I can't see why I would buy it. I bought Tobacco Sapphire because Tobacco Sapphire was a better, longer projecting version of Tobacco Mandarin from Byredo. So that's why I did that one. And then I like Ardent better than Noir de Noir from Tom Ford. So that's why I bought Ardent. I don't know if there's anything that Bodacious is supposed to be directly cloning or things like that. But there you go. But now also Electimus, they also have done some of the same type of scent DNAs, and they've made it even a little cheaper. So Oster
Now I've heard
Blue
Electimus.
Sapphire.
Yeah, I heard Electimus. Was that a clone? Is that a high price clone house as well? I mean, I don't have that many of those. I got
so Electimus, they are not affiliated with Boadicea the Victorious directly. However, the way that I heard it is that some of the management of Electimus came from the management staff of Boadicea Victorious, and they started their own company. And that is why they have taken some of those scent profiles and recreated them under their own brand name.
So a spinoff.
Sort of. Right. Okay. And so Austin Aromas is saying still not worth the price. I can say Boadicea is expensive, especially when you get in their Sapphire line and things like that. And that's one thing that I want to kind of talk about when we talk about the OGs versus clones. I mean, there are some people, and even talking with Tazo. So was talking to Tazo about Sada from Fragrance to Bra. So he liked the fragrance, but he felt like that if he could get it for like $250, $300, then it would be a solid pickup for him. But he didn't want to pay the price that they have. And I mean, it is expensive. And they are using their own naturally sourced or organic oud. But again, the question is what's your price? So in general, we got Austin. He says $300 is kind of his price. And like I said, Tazo was talking about Fragrance de Bra and saying if it was about $250, $300, that would be his price. And so then I'm looking and I'm curious what people are saying in chat. What would be the price? So is $300 kind of like the sweet spot? What do you consider price? Mr. Terrence Sr., welcome, sir.
Yeah, that's why I say, does the finance dictate the fragrance? Does your finance dictate the fragrance? Which
Uh,
makes sense. It makes
yeah.
sense. I mean, this stuff not cheap, man.
Mr. Deezus, I do not know. I've never tried Scent Rabbit. If anybody in the chat knows if Scent Rabbit is legit,
What's
let
that?
us
A
know.
fragrance site?
Yeah, I guess so. I know Scent Angel. I've never heard of Scent Rabbit. Philip Hurd, welcome, sir. Scent of the day, Royal Crown, Rain. Nice. I like Royal Crown. I don't own any from Royal Crown. I've had a lot of samples. I think Isma was one that I had from Royal Crown, and there were a couple other ones that I had from Royal Crown that I
Sultan
like.
is nice.
I just never pulled the trigger on them.
Yeah, I got Sultan from there.
Sultan was another one I have a sample of.
Yeah, I have that. That's a marvelous fragrance, man. That'll get your drawers wet. I'm telling you. Man, that's a marvelous fragrance.
So yeah, let's see. Going down. Oh, Scented Paradise, sir. Have a good one. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, Reds was saying he hasn't tried Scent Rabbit. I haven't tried Scent Rabbit either. I got caught back in the chat. All right, saw a deal for 100 mil on Ganymede. Interesting. I'll try to check into it and see what happens about that.
Ganymede, that's a nice fragrance.
Red says he's just going to go with Al Karachi blend. I personally, I have samples of Blue Sapphire. I would say Blue Sapphire and Al Karachi blend are 90% the same. Al Karachi blend is the OG, but in the air, it would be very hard for you to tell them apart. I'm talking about if you just put your nose up to it, it might be 95%. It's really, really close.
Even with longevity?
Oh, Al Karachi blend lasts 12 plus hours. I mean, it is beast mode. Ask Nathan, but especially Nathan will spray it 23 times. I've never sprayed it more than 8 to 10. 23 times is just crazy talk. I don't even know.
And that runs what?
Now you got to get it in stock. I bought it directly from Al Karachi. They have an American affiliate that delivers. So I bought it straight from Al Karachi. It's like ASQ USA or something like that. And you can get it for under $200. A 90 mil, under $200.
And Blue Sapphire costs what, about $6?
On discounters. Regularly, I think it's about $9.
Yeah. I think that's what I paid for mine.
Yeah. You can get it discounters for like $6 and some change.
This the thing. This is my thing. I can only speak for myself, right? Not being familiar with clones and all I knew was niche, that's what I'm going to purchase, So if I don't know anything about clones, then I'm going to go purchase the niche fragrance. And I think that's what a lot of people that were or are that, like, okay, for instance, Blue Sapphire. I didn't know anything about the fragrance you just mentioned. If I was familiar with it and was able to try it, then I probably would have purchased that instead of Blue Sapphire.
Right, but the Middle Eastern fragrance, that's why Blue Sapphire gets more shine, because the Middle Eastern fragrances don't necessarily have the same type of marketing. They're not distributed as widely in the US. So it's not getting the same kind of publicity and marketing that Blue Sapphire is getting. But again, Electimus is a good choice. I have Electimus Vixir. I wear that often. I haven't worn it as much last year as I did the year before, but Vixir is a pretty good rendition of Valiant, and you can get Vixir for $150, where Valiant is $1,300, and then it's like $700 in discount, $700-800 in discount. So
is it the ingredients? Is it the notes? I mean,
it would be interesting to know, because when you look at the ingredients, most of the raw materials are just listed as fragrance or parfum or something like that. So you don't necessarily, because they don't want to give you exactly what they put into it. the synthetic notes and the alcohol and anything that would be considered hazardous, they have to list because somebody has to be able to make a material safety data sheet. Now they call them safety data sheets on it, so that you'll know where raw materials don't have those same hazards. So they don't give you all the notes. So it'd be curious to see if Electimus is using some of the same notes. I know Ulster doesn't have the same listed notes as Blue Sapphire does, but it gives you a similar type vibe and a similar type thing. Also, notes don't necessarily give you the full picture. Thomas DeMonico basically said that he doesn't really like the note pyramid because he can take certain notes and somebody else can take certain notes and they'll have two totally different fragrances. So he's saying that it doesn't really give you a full picture. And I know sometimes when you look at notes and you kind of read the notes and you think, oh, this is something I would like, and you're thinking it's going to smell a certain way. And then when you spray it on skin, it's totally different to you. It's not the exact same. I mean, it's like taking Gentle Fluidity Silver and Gentle Fluidity Gold. They basically are supposed to have the same notes, but it's two very different fragrances.
Yeah, I have silver. I don't have gold because they just seem the same to me.
Oh, to you, it smells the same?
To me, one just was a little sweeter. And one was just a little sweeter, but the opening seemed the same to me. I was like, I'm not purchasing both of these.
Nice. All right, let's see if I can get down. Yeah. I think Terrence, he talked about he had supercharged.
Yeah, he did, and that chat they had, yeah, he did say it was just a really hyped overloaded Blue Sapphire, I believe.
Yeah, Olfactory Factory. Last year, I will say, Jesus, Olfactory Factory was the discounter that I used the most last year. So I really like that their discount site. They're usually pretty quick with shipping, so that they're who I use the most. Fragrance Buy was next, then probably Joma Shop, or every once in a while. But yeah, I like a lot of Fragrance du Bois. So
Yeah,
Fragrance
du Bois should get more love.
The man says his Noir de Noir lasts 12 hours. I don't know what it is. All of the man's fragrances last longer than the ones I have, but the man has some older vintage fragrances.
Yeah,
like 2012 for
he got an original Aventus, I believe. I think he got the original Aventus. Yeah. If I see him on the street,
I think the original came out in 2010.
Yeah, 2010. The original came out in 2010.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's saying Senate Paradise saying being a frag collector reviewer is an expensive hobby alone. It is. I can say that I am not buying fragrances solely because I am a reviewer. I'm buying clones probably a lot of times because I'm a reviewer. I'll have the original, and then somebody says, oh, this clone is really good. This clone is really good. And so $30, $40, I want to check it out, see what it's about. And that's how I've gotten a lot of clones and stuff like that. And I review them. And then a lot of times I'll give giveaways. Like I gave six. I still have to get one out to my man, Black Bitcoin Steel. But 5 of them have already gave out because I'm never going to use those clones of Angel Share because I really like the original. Some of them are pretty good clones. I don't like them better than the original, but they're nice for what they are. So Terrence says, I'm paying for what I love. If I can't get on discounts, I'll wait for a sale unless the store doesn't do sales. For the most part, there were a lot of sales this year. I had not seen that many sales on fragrances. A lot of people were giving 25 and 30% off. That was a really, really good thing. Who is this? Scent Donkey has the all in these frags for like $5. We got Scent Angel, Scent Rabbit, now we got Scent Donkey. Oh, do not buy from Scent Donkey. Do not listen to
That's a
Scent.
real site.
It probably isn't.
Oh God.
Okay.
Yeah, I bet you people probably typing Scent Donkey.
Yeah. Welcome, sir. Hopefully you can catch the
Oh,
replay. We went through Oman Luxury.
man.
Let's see. Valiant half off at a lot of places right now. Yeah, you can get Valiant for I think like $700, but still that's pretty.
So that's my question.
Mazzo, how you doing, sir?
That's my question. If you can get the original on a discount website at half price, then why get the clone?
Well, still, even if you're talking, it depends on what original you're talking about. So,
Pick one.
when you're talking about Blue Sapphire, or let's take what we're talking about, Valiant. Valiant, I think you can get it for $700. It's $1,300, but Vixia you can get for $150. And Vixia has good performance, good projection. It's a quality made, nice bottles. I mean, the Electromus bottle is heavy. I mean, this could be a lethal weapon if you so chose. And then you're getting it for $150 instead of $700. So you could get 5 Vixias almost for the same price that you're paying for that one Bodicea Valiant.
But there has to be something to where Bodicea can still charge their prices for their fragrance, even at a discount. And the other, it has to be the discount one, not discount one, the clone one has to be lacking something to where they can keep their prices at such a discounted rate when Bodicea is still charging higher prices and people still buying them. What, you know how they say the missing link between monkey and man? What is the missing link? That's what I'm in search of. What is
Well, some of it is name recognition. So
popularity.
I mean, Gucci or Louis Vuitton, you are paying for the name, and not just in fragrances. I'm talking about in anything. A lot of their price is paying for the name.
Well, yeah, but when for instance, let's say a Gucci jacket, right?
Right.
The actual Gucci jacket, the material, you can tell the difference in the material. You can.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell the difference than a knockoff. So you know what you're paying for. What is how can I put this?
But again, yeah, I can say that, but you can find a comparable jacket that doesn't have the name Gucci that's using the exact same materials and not trying to be a knockoff. They're just doing it in their own name, and it will be less.
But just don't have the name Gucci.
Because it just doesn't have the name Gucci. And some of that is us. Some of that is the people want to show that they have Gucci. And you're going to pay for that exclusivity. This is back to note breakdown. Yeah, Nate thought he was going to use Complex 2020 in one of our battles. He blind bought it. And that fragrance, whoo, I will just say it is challenging. That's all I will say about that. Because my mama said, if you don't have anything good to say about something, don't say anything at all. So Complex 2020. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, you're right. Suits got to know. I got to know. I mean, this clone thing is huge, man. It really is. It's freaking huge.
Oh, so Teresa is saying Blue Sapphire is $465. That's not a bad price. I mean, that's gone down. So that's half. That's about half. Because Blue Sapphire, I think, is between $800 and $900.
Yeah. Now, how much is the clone of that?
About half.
How much is the clone for what is the clone for Blue Sapphire? Or is Blue Sapphire a clone of another fragrance?
Blue Sapphire is inspired by Al Karachi blend. Alkarachi Blend, I believe, came out 5 years before Blue Sapphire.
Okay.
I have to, Nate, does Noir de Noir have oud in it? I didn't think it did. It's a rose fragrance, but I think it's like a rose chocolate. I don't think it has oud in it. Somebody answer that. I don't believe Noir de Noir has oud in it. Oh, Tazza said he's a fan first before reviewer. Yeah, that's the same thing. I'm a fan, and then I became a reviewer. In fact, it was because, and I think I've told the story before. Nate was the one that got us to start the channel because we were buying so many fragrances, especially me. Because when I go into something, I dive head first and just go ham. So. We were buying so many fragrances, and I was buying so many fragrances that Nate said we should start a channel because we're doing all this about fragrances. I mean, I was buying fragrances, taking classes, getting individual note packages from like Perfumes Apprentice and stuff like that. And that's how I did that. That's how we started the channel. We got JN. Good evening, sir. So, Dazzle said it's not a clone, it's a Lectimus. There you go. The Lectimus is definitely a murder weapon. That bottle, you can lift weights with that bottle. I mean, that bottle has to be like 5 pounds. You can use it as many weights. Yes. In my opinion, Valiant and Vixir are very, very similar. They're within 90. Okay. I thought it was about 700, but yeah, Teresa is saying that Valiant you can get for 675. And it lacks a name. Boadicea luxury. That's the same. A lot of times, just like I said, the Gucci, yeah, it's about the name. It's about the name.
Yeah, I did. I had to know. I'm in search of answers.
So Reg is looking at the Blue Sapphire Supercharged. I would ask Terrence Taylor about that. I think we briefly talked about it.
He purchased it, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, okay. I was right. It was dark rose chocolate wine, Noir de Noir. Yeah, I didn't think it was oud. Rich Money saying it has oud. I didn't think it had oud in it, but I guess the man saying it has oud too. No, I think we got. It says it Noir de rose, patchouli, agarwood. Okay, it does have oud in it. I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't know. I don't have Noir de Noir. Nate the Great has it.
I don't have that.
It does. That was my bad. Nate, you told me wrong. He said he doesn't pick it up. Nate has bought that out in battles, and he's never mentioned that it had oud in it. So I didn't know. Uh-oh. Rich Money saying he wish he knew about Vixia last week. Just bought Valiant.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I have and maybe I can go get it real quick. And hold on 1 second.
So what are your thoughts on that Valiant?
So yeah, this one is Vixir. So I think I've taken, when I first got Electimus, I bought decants of my Amazon Echo is stalking. So I bought decants of Boadicea to see how close they were. They're pretty close. The Ulster is not as rich, but it is still in the 85-90% range. But Alkarachi Blend is really in a even closer. But okay, we got Deluxe X saying again he doesn't detect any oud in it as well. He has it, but the Vixir, I love it. I love it. And I haven't had any problems out of it. It's in the 90 to 95% range, in my opinion, from my memory of it. It's been a couple years at least. I've had it in at least 2 years that I tested it out. I believe I had at least 2 years. More, definitely more than, it has to be at least 2 years. I had it for at least 2 years. And they're pretty similar.
Mhm.
Blue Sapphire, Alkarashi blend, about the same thing, about the same amount of time. They're pretty similar as well. But before I really knew about Blue Sapphire, I had Alkarashi blend. And then, so it is what it is. Yes, sir. We are about to head out as well. We've been on for
Hey,
hours.
not so famous, man. Be safe out there with them wildfires, man. Hey, we praying for y'all. Because I think he's in that area.
And it's definitely about enjoyment. We still got 34 people in the chat, I believe. Man, I appreciate everybody coming out. This will be the time. Mondays at 7 o'clock will be a time. And then every once in a while, I will do a weekend as well. But we really appreciate everybody coming out. I definitely appreciate my man Suits. I want to at least try to hook up with him maybe once or twice a month, and we do something together, because, man, I feel like we got a good vibe, and always enjoy doing a live with you, sir.
Most definitely.
So with that, we will call it, and I appreciate everybody from coming out, and we'll we'll do it again next Monday, 7 o'clock. We'll figure out what it is and send it out. Saturday, 7 o'clock will be battle. Nate the Great against Charm City. He's trying to give me an L. We'll see how that works. But hope everybody enjoyed the live.
Buy fragrance, buddy.
Yep. See you, everybody. Take care.
All right. Yep.
All right, Sue. I'll catch up with you this week.
Okay.
Can I sniff it? Yes, you can. 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 Mom's on. Can I sniff it? To all the people who like frags like Charm City does. Made this track so you really know what live was. Come together over fragrances. That's the why, cuz getting love and support from the vibers. Put your sense of the day in the chat, cuz no wrong sense where whatever and for just because. Positivity and love with a live hug. A life full of fragrance is what I love. Finding hidden gems from Dior to Rosia Dove. Negativity and fighting is what we're above. Try to diss, we throw up the hand with a big shrug. Like a card of positives, it's a plus love. If you wanna cause drama, we won't even think of us. The connoisseurs fly high like a dove. Can I sniff it? Yes, you can. 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 Can I sniff it? With my frags that I can spray in layers. A connoisseur, but also a poem sayer. At times a live studio purveyor. Won't choke you out, but not a sissy sprayer. Hit the like, you'll be doing us a really big favor. Subscribe if this track has a lot of flavor. Rest in peace, Fife Dog, who's resting with our savior. Follow us for the fragrance behavior. Make a note of the fragrances we gave you, one by one, or apply them in layers. Do you like the fragrances we share? Keep an open mind, don't be a naysayer. Find some new frags that you can savor. Doesn't matter if you're minor or major. From niche to designer, we're the player. As you inhale like a breath of fresh air.